Welcome to Dollar Side Hustle, your go-to podcast for all things side hustle. Today, we're going to be doing a deep dive into a story about someone who found a side hustle
Oh, wow.
through a social media ad of all things.
Really?
Yeah, they actually shared their experience on Reddit. And it got us thinking, could this be a viable way to find a legit side hustle?
Yeah, that's a good question. You know what's fascinating is that so many people are looking for ways to earn extra income. And the internet is just flooded with opportunities. But how do you separate the real deals from the scams? That's what we're going to unpack today.
Exactly. So this Reddit user found an ad for a remote job platform. And it sounded pretty good at first. Only $1 to join and then a small monthly fee. They were mainly offering writing and chat support jobs, which is something a lot of people could potentially do from home.
Right.
The platform promised around $20 an hour, which is definitely appealing. But here's where things get a little tricky.
Yeah, if we connect this to the bigger picture, you see this pattern often with online opportunities. The promise of easy money and high hourly rates can be very tempting. But that's exactly what scammers use to lure people in. It's crucial to approach these situations with a healthy dose of skepticism.
Right. And this user did have some doubts. They found some mixed reviews online about the platform's reputation, which raised some red flags. But they decided to take a chance and see what happened. They figured the low initial cost was worth the risk. What do you think about that approach?
Well, I understand the logic of wanting to test the waters, especially with such a small upfront investment. But here's the thing. Even if that initial cost is low, you still need to be cautious about the information you provide and the potential risks involved.
Okay, so what happened next? Well, they started taking on some of the jobs offered on the platform. And they actually had some success early on. They earned a decent amount in their first month, which probably made them feel like they found a legitimate way to make extra cash.
This raises an important question. What kind of work were they actually doing? The type of tasks offered on these platforms can often be a clue about their legitimacy. Was it high-quality writing that required specific skills, or was it more like click work or content mills that anyone could do?
That's a great point, and that's something we're going to dive deeper into. The Reddit user was primarily doing writing and chat support tasks, which on the surface sound pretty standard. But there's a twist in this story that really highlights the importance of being cautious with these online platforms.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
It turns out not everything was as rosy as it seemed. The user encountered situations where they completed work but weren't paid for it. This is a major red flag and something anyone exploring online side hustles needs to be aware of.
Yeah, this is a classic example of why research and due diligence are so important. Let's break down some key things to look for when evaluating these platforms and how to avoid falling victim to a scam. So let's talk about those red flags. You mentioned the importance of research. What exactly should people be looking for when they're checking out a platform like this?
Yeah, one of the first things I always look at is the website itself. Does it look professional and credible? Is the information clear and easy to understand? Or does it feel clunky, outdated, or maybe even overly flashy, like they're trying too hard to impress you? Those can all be warning signs.
Interesting. So it's almost like judging a book by its cover. But in this case, it's a website.
Exactly.
You want to get a feel for the company behind the platform. Dig a little deeper. Search for reviews online. See if they have a social media presence. And try to find any information about their track record.
Okay, so don't just take their word for it. Look for what other people are saying.
Yeah.
What about the jobs themselves? Are there any red flags there?
Absolutely. Be wary of promises that seem too good to be true. If a platform is advertising ridiculously high hourly rates or guaranteed earnings with minimal effort, that's a huge red flag. Legitimate work usually requires effort and expertise.
Yeah, that makes sense. If it sounds too easy, it probably is. Anything else about the jobs themselves that people should pay attention to?
Pay attention to the details of the tasks. Are the descriptions clear and specific? Do they require certain skills or qualifications? Or are they vague and generic, making it seem like anyone could do them? The more specific and skill-based the tasks, the more likely it is to be a legitimate opportunity.
This is all great advice. So let's say you've done your research and a platform seems okay. What about the risk versus reward? Is it ever worth taking a chance on a platform like this, even if there are some minor red flags?
That's a tough question. There's always some level of risk involved when you're dealing with online opportunities, especially those promising income. But it's all about managing that risk.
What do you mean by managing risk?
Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't quit your day job based on the promise of a side hustle. Start small, see how it goes, and don't invest more time or money than you can afford to lose. Remember, you're essentially running a small business.
So it's about being smart and realistic. What if someone finds a platform they're comfortable with? What are some of the most common types of online side hustles people can actually find success with?
Well, freelance writing and editing are consistently in demand. There's a constant need for high-quality content online. And many businesses are willing to pay for skilled writers.
That's interesting because it ties back to the Reddit user's story. It
Mm.
seems like a natural fit for someone who enjoys writing and has a knack for it. What other types of side hustles are out there?
If you're tech-savvy, web design and development are great options. Social media management is huge right now. And if you're creative, there's always graphic design photography or even creating and selling online courses.
Wow, the possibilities are endless. It seems like there's something for everyone no matter what their skills or interests are.
Exactly. And one of the great things about online side hustles is the flexibility they offer. You can often set your own hours and work from anywhere with an internet connection.
That's a huge draw for a lot of people, especially those with other commitments like family or a traditional job. But with all this talk about the positive side of online side hustles, are there any potential downsides that our listeners should be aware of?
Definitely. One thing to consider is the potential for income instability. Unlike a regular 9-to-5 job, income from side hustles can fluctuate from month to month. You might have a great month followed by a slow one.
That's a good point. It's important to have realistic expectations and be prepared for some ups and downs. What about other downsides?
Another potential downside is the need for self-discipline and time management. When you're working for yourself, it's easy to get distracted or procrastinate.
Oh, it's so relatable. It takes a lot of self-motivation to stay on track and meet deadlines when you're your own boss, especially if you're working from home and surrounded by distractions.
Exactly. Setting boundaries between your work life and personal life is crucial. Even if your office is your living room, it's easy for those lines to blur when you're working remotely.
So to sum it up, online side hustles can be a great way to earn extra income and have more flexibility. But it's important to approach them with a realistic mindset. Do your research and be prepared to put in the work.
Well said. And remember, finding something you enjoy and are good at is key. Passion and skill will go a long way towards making your side hustle successful.
Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about something that can really boost your side hustle income. Leveraging social media. We all know it's powerful for businesses. But how can individuals use it to their advantage when it comes to side hustles?
Social media can be a game changer for side hustlers. It's a free platform to promote your services, connect with potential clients, and build a following around your brand.
So it's more than just scrolling and liking funny videos.
Definitely.
Hmm.
Think of social media as a free marketing tool for your side hustle. You can attract new customers and grow your business by creating engaging content and building a strong online presence.
Okay, I'm starting to see the potential here.
Yeah.
But with so many platforms out there, where should people even begin?
It really depends on your target audience and the type of side hustle you have. If you're a visual artist, Instagram might be a great platform to showcase your work. If you're a writer, maybe Twitter or LinkedIn would be better options.
So it's about finding the platforms where your ideal clients are and tailoring your content to their interests.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to experiment. Try different platforms and see what works best for you. You might be surprised where you find the most success.
So even if you're not a social media guru, it's worth learning the basics and building your online presence.
Absolutely. Even a little effort can make a big difference. Create profiles, share your work, and engage with other users. You'll be amazed at how quickly you can build a following and attract new opportunities.
This is great advice. Are there any tips for creating engaging content that helps people stand out?
Authenticity is key. Be yourself. People can spot a fake a mile away. Share your story, your passion, and what makes your side hustle unique. That's what people connect with.
So true. People want to see the real you, not some polished facade.
Mhm.
What else?
Think about your target audience. What would they find valuable or interesting? Provide helpful tips, share behind-the-scenes glimpses of your work. Or even run contests and giveaways to keep people engaged.
So it's all about providing value and building relationships, just like any other business.
Exactly. Social media is just another way to connect and build trust. And remember, consistency is key. Don't expect overnight success. Just keep creating good content and engaging with your audience, and you'll see results.
This has been so insightful. Before we wrap up, let's circle back to managing expectations.
Yeah, it's easy to get caught up in the hype and think you'll quit your day job and become an overnight success. But building a successful side hustle takes time, effort, and dedication.
So patience is key.
Absolutely. Celebrate the small wins. And don't get discouraged if you don't see results immediately. Keep learning, growing, and putting in the work. You'll reach your goals eventually.
And even if you don't become a millionaire from your side hustle, the experience, skills, and connections you gain can be invaluable.
Couldn't agree more. And who knows, your side hustle might even become your full-time gig someday.
That's the dream. Okay, we're almost out of time, but I want to leave our listeners with one final thought. Welcome to Dollar Side Hustle, your go-to podcast for all things side hustle. Today we're going to be talking about how to jump on this side hustle. The internet is a vast and ever-evolving landscape, and there's always something new to learn and explore. So stay curious, stay informed, and keep those side hustle dreams alive.
Well said.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into online side hustles. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives on all sorts of interesting topics. And don't forget to check out the links in our show notes. Some of those are affiliate links, which help support the show. Until next time, happy hustling.